Of the game, we had some good chances, they had some good chances, then Cardiff opened up with 4 quick goals in 4 minutes, and that virtually buried us.
What sort of a chance have Cardiff got here? Because this is one heck of an arena.
Well, you know, the biggest thing they're going to have to overcome is just the crowd factor, the noise factor in here. It's going to be very, very loud. The Sheffield Steelers fans are as good as any in the country. They get their team up, and they get them up and keep them really alive for the whole game. The Cardiff, probably their game plan will be to try and just play a real defensive game to get the crowd quiet. You know, and so that they can work that as a disadvantage to the Sheffield team. But it should be a very good, interesting, tactical game.
Okay, let's talk tactics now. Paul Ferguson has been talking to the 2 coaches. Let's hear what he has to say.
With me are Alex Dampier of Sheffield and John Lawless of Cardiff. John, first to you. You're without Manson, Heavey, and Cooper. A tough assignment at the back tonight.
Yeah, we've had a tough schedule, and unfortunately we've lost some key players on defense. So it's really left me no alternative but to put the gear on and then maybe make a couple adjustments, getting some of our forwards to play back on the point.
Does this mean Doug McEwen will go back, so you'll also lose the scoring punch?
Yeah, Doug's one of those versatile players, and he can come up big at center, left wing, or defense. And tonight, hopefully, he'll do the job on defense.
And how about yourself? Are you fit?
No, not at all. I'm I'm having a hard time talking to you right now, but no, I had a couple of training sessions this week and realized that it's hopefully my experience will sort of see me through.
Alex Dampier, only 1 loss so far this season. A great start.
Yeah, it's a good start, but you know, you always think the bubble's going to burst, and you know, what a night to have it happen. It was Cardiff, but you know, we're looking forward to tonight's game, and you know, unfortunately for Cardiff, they've lost some key guys, and I think John underestimates his impact on the team. He's always in shape, he runs lots, and he'll be a pain in our backsides tonight, I'm sure.
How about the 9,000 screaming fans? Will they have an influence on this one?
Well, I'd like to think so. You know, they're usually good for a goal. You know, as long as we can keep them on edge and keep them up on the edge of their seat, they'll certainly help us.
And tomorrow night's game in Cardiff?
Well, Cardiff, you know, it's a tough rink to go into. It's one of those places that you get in there, and next thing you know, you're down 4-0, and it's an intimidating rink. Fans are great behind them, and John's got his boys pumped up all the time in that rink. They play very well at home.
Any guesses on the scoreline tonight?
No, John's the bookie. He'll know what's going on there.
Well, it's about 10-1 on 3-2 for Sheffield, I think. 10-1.
Well, Alex looks pretty confident to me. He's a good man. He's also the Great Britain coach and done very well there.
Alex has been in this country a long, long time. He's almost a grandfather here of British ice hockey as far as any of the new people from Canada that might have been here a long time. And he knows his job very well. The one thing that surprised me, though, is at the very beginning of it, there was a little bit of doubt. He said, you know, what a night for it to maybe fall apart on us. And I don't think that's going to happen. But as a coach, you always look back and you say, you know, if my guys aren't prepared tonight, just because they're out with 2 or 3 key players, the other team, it's probably the best thing about ice hockey is that you can be down in numbers. You can put your backs against the wall and start fighting and clawing your way back, and it's a tough team to play against them.
How tough is it going to be for John Lawless, though, out there and trying to coach?
Well, I had the opportunity to play 2 weekends ago, and I'm 37 years old. I haven't played in a long, long time, and it was tough to play a doubleheader. Last weekend against Cardiff, I was forced to play again. In our building, our smaller ice surface, it wasn't too bad. Things were okay. In their ice surface, the next night, it was really tough to come back the next night. I see Johnny Lawless tonight playing a very good game. He's going to be a key player. We're talking about key players, but he could be key if he gets his guys wound up and ready to go, and he does something well on the ice. Could be the spark that Cardiff needs to get over the hump here.
On the spot, quick score prediction.
Oh boy, quick score prediction. Somebody's going to win by 3.
Sheffield, the favourites?
I think Sheffield's going to win it by 3 in here. I believe that the Cardiff's going to really work hard. They're going to try and play a very defensive game like they did in the European Cup, which brought them success. But that success came defensively with a great import or a great defensive man as Stephen Cooper. They're missing him tonight, missing Paul Heavey. Some guys have to fill in spots. It's going to be tough on them.
Okay, we'll put you right after the game, see if you're right. The match then coming up for you here on Sky Sports right after this break. I tell you what, this is some place. Bonfire night, very nearly a sellout here. 8,000 people in the Sheffield Arena. Let's put the 2 teams into perspective. Sheffield and Cardiff, 2 of the best teams in the country. Sheffield not been beaten here for over a year, and Cardiff in the last 4 in Europe.
I know, you know, we've got 2 probably the most disciplined teams in the league. When I say discipline, I don't mean discipline by penalty-wise, because they've both taken their penalties in this game. But discipline in what they're trying to do on the ice and accomplish. Cardiff playing a very disciplined defensive game. One man in doing the forecheck and waiting for something to happen. 4 guys back standing at their blue line to stop Sheffield from coming at them so they can go the other way and create something.
Okay. Let's have a look at the starting lineup of the two teams now. First of all, for Sheffield, pick out some players there.
Well, again, it comes down to Sheffield. We're really looking at their captain in Ron Shudra. He's very important on their defense back there. He's the guy that is important for them to make something happen and bring the puck up the ice.
Those are the starting lineup.
Again, with him creating things from the back end to move the puck up, that creates offense for him up in the front end. Right now, that's not happening. They're just shooting the puck around the boards and not letting him carry it up the ice for him.
Okay, that's Sheffield. Cardiff have had a whole lot of problems, particularly on defense. 3 key players out. Yeah, 3 key players. Defense again. Defense. They've lost their guys on the defensive squad, so they've had to go to a real defensive game with their forwards coming back. But again, saying the defense, the #1 defense, Jason Wood in goal. He's creating some great saves out there for him, and he's stopping things from happening. The other thing is Johnny Lawless playing a good defensive game. He's back in playing for his first time since last year, being a leader out there. It's making things happen. Okay, Rocky. Right, we're going to show you the second and third periods live, but the first period has just happened, and we'll take you through the highlights now. Your commentators, Paul Ferguson and Gary Moran.
Steelers. Neal, big shot right on the pads. Steered away, but Wilson picks it up nicely on the blue line. Wilson lets the shot go. The rebound bounces to the side of the net. Wood had trouble getting over to that one. Pushed into the corner, all the way back to the blue. The shot is an easy one. Loose puck out front. And that's in the net, the first goal of the game. 18:02, and the Steelers celebrate. A lot of pressure with Scott Neal and Ron Handy buzzing around that goal.
Great goal for the Steelers, but it came from a mistake, and it was a mistake by one of the Cardiff youngsters, Richard Townsend, who didn't clear his zone when he had the opportunity to get the puck out of the Cardiff end. And then when the pressure's on, the Steelers make them pay. Scott Neal hustling and bustling in front, and eventually it's tipped in.
Looking for places to go on the left side. Cooper tips that through to Lawless. Lawless drops it back. This is nice. Cooper right in front. The tip is there. Ruggles scores! Ruggles was allowed to maneuver in the crease, and that levels it at 1 apiece.
4 minutes and 3 seconds gone, and Hilton Ruggles' persistence pays off, and the small band of travelling fans have something to celebrate about. Great stick handling by Ian Cooper. Persistent play which got the puck across to the crease area for Ruggles. Cooper picks up the drop pass, works his way around the big defenseman Wilson. Ruggles' first shot doesn't work, the second one does.
6 minutes, 42 seconds remaining on the period. 1-1 the score. Lawless. Well, it's in! Lawless took a shot, and it was deflected, but McCoy did not see that until it was over the red line. Cooper celebrates out there, as do all the fans who have come the distance from Cardiff. Let's look at this one again. 2-1 against the run of play. Lawless has Cooper in front of the net. Watch this shot. You really don't have to shoot hard when there's traffic in front of the net. All you need is a little tip. Wins the draw. McEwen. You got to remember, although he's an excellent hockey player, McEwen, perhaps one of the best in the country, he's not a real defenseman to score! Nemeth took the shot, and McEwen was playing a defensive role in front of the net, but was it good enough?
It's a bit of a shock, I can tell you. Cardiff level 2-2 with Sheffield. Cardiff are a bit quiet.
Yeah, they are crowded. The crowd is quiet. It's what we said earlier before the game started. Cardiff wanted to make this crowd quiet so that they could maybe just make something happen for themselves. They're playing a great defensive game, waiting for Sheffield to make a mistake or two and get a couple of lucky goals for themselves, or a couple of good goals. Johnny Lawless, as I said earlier, playing a great game. He's creating things to happen. He's leading his team out there. Jason Wood's playing great in goal for him.
Okay, the crowd quiet at the moment. I don't think that's going to last very long. You'll be back with us live here at the Sheffield Arena for the second period, right after this break. Hello again from the Sheffield Arena, where it's Sheffield 2, Cardiff 2. Quite a surprise. We thought that Sheffield would build up quite a lead. You said that had to start well, really, the Cardiff boys, to keep the crowd quiet, and that's exactly what they did. But it seems to me that Cardiff's tactics worked really well. They were laying back in defence, just coming up on the break and shooting well.
Exactly. So they had some good points, they had some bad points in their game. The good points were that they were playing very defensive-minded and trying to shut down the Sheffield attack coming into the middle of the ice. Saying that, Sheffield has great shooters on the back end on their defense. And it looked like Cardiff was trying to watch those defense a little too much and allowing the Sheffield guys to get in front of the net. Now, both goals that were scored were because the Sheffield guys kept driving out the front of the Cardiff net, outnumbering their defense by 2 or 3 guys, getting a deflection and or a rebound, and that's how come the 2 goals were scored against Cardiff. They tried to play defensively, but maybe a little bit too much in their zone.
Do you think that the tactics were altered in the second period? Do you think that Sheffield have got to smarten their act up a little bit?
Well, I would think that Sheffield's going to try and put the puck a little bit deeper behind the Cardiff net. I would say that Sheffield's going to attack the front of the net more and more. If they're watching like we're watching, and seeing the front of the net's open, they're going to try and get some more people in front of the net to punch some more shots in.
And the crowd, who are so used to Sheffield winning here, we saw a shot to them there, quite amazing that they're really going to lift them if they can start getting into this act. Anyway, we're going to join our commentary team now. Gary Moran and first Paul Ferguson.
Paul Branch is the referee as we get set to start the second period. 2-2 the score. Ron Handy, Ruggles, Cooper and Plummer have put the puck over the red line. And we still have 40 minutes of hockey here. Gary, quite a game in store.
40 more minutes to go tonight and then another 60 tomorrow night. It's going to be a long, tough game this for both of these teams. And I've still got the feeling that the Sheffield Steelers will come good, at least for the first half of it, over the next 40 minutes. They were throwing 3 lines out, especially 3 forward lines, which has got to take its toll. However good the Shannon Hopes, the Doug McEwens are, they've got to get tired. If 3 fresh sets of legs keep coming at you and you've had to stay out there for 5- and 6-minute shifts.
Ron Handy with 9 goals and 10 assists going into this game. And he really is an influence out there, working well with Scott Neal. Scott Neal, 9 goals and 11 assists. These guys work well together, a bit like the old Tony Hand. Take the Y off there, and you've got the Tony Hand-Scott Neal combination that made Murrayfield the team they are today.
And also Alex Dampier and Clyde Toole there, the Sheffield coach and manager, have brought back in Steve Nemeth, who used to play for the Sheffield Steelers. A real fast skater, super skater. Bad end to last season, and in the summer it was sort of agreed between the player and the club that he wouldn't come back. In the end, he has come back. A guy called Paul Jackson, who used to play with Handy in Wichita, didn't make the grade. He's gone, and Nemeth has brought a great deal of speed to that line. But it's still the second line that's been scoring most goals for the Sheffield Steelers.
The referee calls the teams together. The Cardiff Devils will be playing from left to right. Jason Wood still between the pipes for the Cardiff Devils. Martin Mackay at the other end of the rink, and Jason Wood still recovering from that concussion he received during the quarterfinals in the European Cup. A puck went through his face mask and put him out of action for several weeks. He's back in, and he's backed up by 14-year-old Stevie Lyle. This kid is a prospect for the future, but right now the action is at center ice with the Sheffield Steelers pumping that in. A bouncing puck comes out to the red line, bobbles into the corner, and Scott Neal and Handy out there as McEwen tips it all the way out into neutral ice zone. Both teams have had their fair share of penalties. We saw Cooper and Cranston rough it up a bit, but nothing too serious out there. It's been physical, it's been fast. It hasn't been the prettiest hockey that we've seen. A lot of goal-mouth scrambles, but it certainly has been exciting. Coming through their zone, bouncing that off the boards. Hope watches that go the distance. Wood comes out, gives it right away. Not a great play by the goaltender as that is deflected all the way down the ice. Icing is the call. 19-11 remaining on the period. 2-2 the score.
Sheffield Steelers will be hoping to emulate what they managed in the first period, which was to pile the pressure on the Cardiff Devils' end of the ice. One of the ways they did that was by not hitting Nicky Chin. The Sheffield bench have obviously decided that if you hit Nicky Chin, he hits back and really gets involved in a game. If you leave him alone, then perhaps he drifts away from it, and he's got to be a key player when you've got so many key personnel missing from the lineup for the Devils.
Chin out there on the wing right now wearing number 17. We are looking for a little more from him. This guy is physical, great skater, going in the corner now. He'll always take the body when he can. Bouncing puck goes in along the hash marks. Townsend ties his man up, and the Devils lack the numbers out there, but they have been playing some good man-to-man hockey. They're taking the man whenever they can. Tipped over to Carson. Carson just flips it on the goal, and McCoy lost control of that. The shot goes in, the score! Townsend could not believe his luck. He was out front. The puck bounced right to him, and he said, "What do I do now, coach? Shoot!"
Townsend scored a cracking goal. That's Jason Stone there, involved in the play as well for the Cardiff Devils. And the Devils couldn't believe their luck there. How often do you see Martin Mackay, the GB #1 choice goalkeeper, make a big bluff? You don't see it very often, and it's Jason Stone who comes in and pounces on that puck and just drills it into the back corner. Now, they reckon he's playing defence a bit like Stephen Cooper, and Stephen Cooper had an operation today, and Stone's getting all the extra ice time because of it, and he made it pay dividends there.
3-2 the score. The Devils have taken the lead here at the start of the second period. Richard Townsend getting credit for that goal. The announcement came that Stone had scored the goal, but it's Richard Townsend who picks up his third goal of the competition. Young teenager growing in stature every time the Devils take to the ice. Another one is in the net. A shot from way back at the blue. Dumas gives the victory salute. Stone let that one fly, and the French-Canadian has a massive smile on his face. 1 minute and 31 seconds gone in the period. Let's watch this again. Two quick goals. Deflection. Dumas with a stick way up, shoulder level.
Townsend stands back and waits for his fellow teenager Stone to fire it in, and Dumas, the 28-year-old Canadian, the surprise summer signing for the Devils, turns it in, and the Devils get a dream start to the second period with a full 2 lead.
4-2 the score, 18:20 remaining on the second period. A great start in this period for the Devils, right in front. And Wood and McEwen were there to squeeze that one away. McEwen picks it up behind the red line, flips it along the boards, and Peter Smith helps it along its way. Hope gets back in the circle, being chased by Doyle. Picked up at the top of the circle. A shot deflected over to the near side. Chris Kellen nowhere to go on that one. McEwen being pressured along the boards. McEwen double teamed, and Francis got a piece of it, got it out of the zone just to take a little pressure off. McEwen finds himself deep, sends it along the boards, and the crowd and the Steelers have been rocked by that excellent start by the Cardiff Devils. A couple of goals in less than a minute and a half. And what did John Lawless say to the boys in the dressing room?
He told them to keep sticking to the task and keep working away at it, and it's paid dividends. But that's the approach that the Sheffield Steelers and their fans should do. It's the Cardiff Devils fans who celebrate and join in the woo-woo actions, and they're really taking the mickey out of the Sheffield fans, because it's normally the Sheffield fans who make this building rock.
Handy goes into the face-off circle against McEwen, who stays out there. Bobbles all the way down the ice. Icing is the call as Chris Kellen gets back. 17:26 remaining on the second period. 4-2 the score. And I, for one, thought that the Steelers would have an easier time with this than they are. They're trailing by 2, despite the fact that the Devils are throwing everyone out on the ice except for the stick boy and the lady who polishes their skates before the game.
And I wouldn't argue with her if they put her on the ice.
Right in front, a shot trickles wide as Scott Neal was left all alone, but just couldn't get any steam or direction on that. Ian Cooper tries to get around Kellen. Cooper goes in. Goaltender McCoy goes down. Cooper looked around for that puck, couldn't find it. It's now in the neutral zone with Nemeth picking it up. Nemeth hits the blue line. He's got a lot of support. Drops it back. Move coming in. Scott Neal checked at the last moment by Ian Cooper. Good defensive move by number 66 as he moves his way down the right side. Cooper tries to throw it in to Lawless. Lawless was well and truly behind that puck. McEwen puts it up on the right wing. Nemeth takes his man out of the play as Abel gets it up to Nemeth. Looking for Neil. Nemeth, the little cheeky back pass to Handy didn't work. Handy, Nemeth, and Neil playing some good hockey out there. Cooper unable to control that. Long shot deflected away with Shannon Hope getting his stick up high in the neutral zone, and the Sheffield fans wanted a penalty there. Both teams changing on the fly. Kellen with a lot of room backhands that into the corner and then goes after it. McEwen gives it to Kellen. Back to McEwen. Flipped up in the high slot. Excellent stuff by Lawless. Great stick handling as Lawless takes a chop from Plummer. Cranston has it now. Cranston slides it over. That was a hospital pass to Millie. Shot coming in was deflected away, and Kellen squeezes it in with Hope being shadowed by Cranston. Cranston is interfered with, and a play is allowed to continue. Now we have a penalty coming up. Roughing is the call. Paul Branch, the referee, gets in there, and Neil Abel came well and truly in after the play to give Ruggles an elbow. It's starting to get physical. No love lost between these two teams. Ruggles does not like that as he works his way into the penalty box. He's telling the referee, hey, I was hit from the blind side by Abel. Watch the replay.
But how often do we see the referees call the retaliation? It's the referee's job to police a game of ice hockey, not the player's job to even things up, as it were. Shannon Hope, who'd been getting stuck in just moments earlier. Doug McEwen takes Plummer there, and that sort of wound things up. Shannon Hope had hung on to the Cranston stick to try and look for a penalty. He's Plummer, always in the opposition's face throughout, and he throws the first hit, which Ruggles reacted to, and Ruggles got the penalty, and it's the Devils who go short-handed for the next 2 minutes.
Ruggles was complaining about the second hit from Neil Abel well after the whistle blew. Face-off in neutral ice. The Steelers have the man advantage out there as Ruggles sits for 2. 4-2 is the score. The Devils have the lead. O'Connor way back at the blue line pushes that along the boards. O'Connor calls for it, can't get the shot away. Nemeth was looking for the return pass, and here come the Devils. A 2-on-2 situation. The shot, and Chin got a piece of that, but so did Mackay. The Devils are playing a lot of hockey in the neutral zone now as they get back quickly. Bouncing puck along the boards. Shudra back to Nemeth, back to Shudra. Long pass through neutralized territory. This is better stuff coming from the Steelers. Hope stays on Nemeth, and Wood is there to put the glove on it.
A lot will depend in this game on how the Steelers react to it. They're looking down the barrel, of course, at the moment, but there's a long, long way to go, both tonight and over the 2 legs. Cardiff Devils, their players are no better than the Sheffield Steelers players, but they've got an awful lot of experience. They've just been away in the European Cup and done better than any British team ever did in the European Cup before, and they're through to the semi-finals. They've got a lot of experience of winning tough ice hockey matches, and that's what's been telling so far in the second period.
Cranston wins the draw from Dumas, gives it to Kellen. Kellen along the boards, waits for the opening, and gave that one away. Dumas now racing down the right side. Shudra is going to get there first. Shudra to Cranston. Cranston with a head of steam now. This guy's got some good moves. Tries to get around Dumas, breaking down on the right side. Cranston lets the shot go. The rebound comes out. Wood allowing that rebound to come out into the circle. Plummer slows it down, gets it all the way back to Kellen. Kellen elects to go back to Plummer into the corner. The Devils hang on to that box out there, and they'll let the Steelers play with that puck all night long as they're not taking shots on goal. Cranston gave it back to Millie, and the Steelers unable to get quality shots on the goal as we come down to the final 12 seconds of the power play. Deflected off the skate of Jason Stone into the corner. Puck behind the goal. Kellen calling for it on this side. From the other side, Wood was down, and the Devils are back at full strength as Ruggles gets on the ice. Cooper tries to get it out. Kellen gloves that down nicely. Kellen taken out of the play, and here comes Dumas. He's got Ruggles, a 2-on-2 situation. Dumas feeds it through. Ruggles was dumped by Cranston. Referee Branch says play on. Bad pass by Cranston as he throws it over to an open wing, and the winger Cooper couldn't make anything of it. He had a man in the zone. That was Ruggles. The shot comes in. The rebound. Nemeth, big shot upstairs off the plexi. Rebound is there again, and this time Wood gets it. Shots raining in from all sides and all angles as the Steelers pick up their game.
It's typical end-to-end action, isn't it? And the Steelers come straight back from mopping up in their own zone, and Les Milley lets this one go, and a dancing Jason Wood gets in the way of the first one. Follows the play well, Jason Wood, although he goes down. He does follow the play across the crease and tends to be in the right place.
Gary, as you said, it's the Devils who are dancing. Usually this place is well known for the routines that the fans get into when the music is playing in the background and play is stopped. But right now the Devils have taken the lead out there, and they're performing on and off the ice. Good move as McEwen comes up, fakes the first shot. The second shot hits a skate as Ruggles picks it up, slides it in as Mackay went down. No chance to make the save out there as it bobbles away. Handy, the left-hand shot on the far wing, gets that shot away, and the left-hand glove of Jason Wood comes up and makes the save. Makes it look so routine.
Well, Doug McEwen got caught up front trying to get something going for the Devils, and he'd been playing defense. And who dropped back onto the blue line to cover for him other than Johnny Lawless? Stone, the youngster, was dealing with the left side of the defense. Wood made the save, and on the right side of defense, just out of shot, Johnny Lawless had just dropped in there like an experienced, if diminutive, defenseman.
I tell you, it's tough. If you're a natural-born forward and all of a sudden you're throwing on the defense. I know Doug plays, that's Doug McEwen, of course, number 7 for Cardiff. He plays defense a lot, but it's still not natural for him, and sometimes forwards who play on defense do get caught out. Handy feeds it through. The return pass comes in. The shot, good save by Wood. That deflected off the cage. McEwen got hit over the red line, and that's pushed out to Wilson. Wilson fires it right back in as Hope tries to get a stick on it. Hope elects to golf that out to the blue line. Wasn't cleared away. McEwen rescues the situation in front of the net. Handy tried to glove it down, and again there's a man free as Scott Neal was left in front. His shot is a weak one. The stick of Jason Wood steered it off the plexi. 11 minutes 52 seconds remaining on the second period. Nemeth slid that off the side of the net. Ian Cooper picks it up, slowly moves it down, finds Ruggles. Ruggles right in front. Whoa, that was pretty. Cooper over to Ruggles. Ruggles makes it 5. What's happening to the Steelers?
Super stick handling skills from 31-year-old Montreal-born Hilton Ruggles. He's had time in this country with Murrayfield, Whitley and Solihull. He's an engineer by training, but on this one he's a pretty ice hockey player. Beautiful stick handling skills. He steals it and he stick handles through, and it comes on the end of a spell of pressure from Sheffield, which was starting to remind me of the first period. But Ruggles doesn't give up, persists all the way. Mackay's down and buried.
Mike O'Connor, the big Canadian-born, British passport-holding defenseman for the Steelers, was unable to slow him down on that one. Shot upstairs, and Mackay felt the force of that on the shoulder. Well, I can tell you, folks, that these guys are well padded out there, but when a shot comes with that force, it does hurt. Let's watch this again. The youngster Townsend gets it upstairs right off the shoulder, and that hurts.
Well, you know, Paul, you used to be there, didn't you?
I still got the bruises, and it was a lifetime ago, I can tell you.
Look at those Devils fans celebrating at this one. The Devils fans are starting to think they're going to go home with a win, never mind a draw, which was their wildest dream before this one started, to try and go back on level terms to their own rink.
Keating got the face-off. Neil Francis fed it in front of the net. You got some youngsters out there with 2 experienced Canadian stroke British players on the defense. The youngsters are out there to tie up the big guns as Doyle tries to get a shot away. Second attempt up by McEwen. Doyle tried to slide it through, and that ended up behind the cage. Hope picks it up. Hope bangs it off the shin pad of number 27, Keating. Hope at the second attempt brings it out, gets by Shudra. Hope with a lot of room, big shot, and Mackay comes out, but the offside whistle had blown. 10:45 remaining on the period. 5-2. is the scoreline. And the Devils are leading this one.
Hilton Ruggles with that 5th goal. It was assisted by Doug McEwen. It gives the Cardiff Devils a 3-goal advantage. And that's why we're seeing guys like 18-year-old Simon Keating, another member of the so-called posse in Cardiff, the younger players that are coming through the ranks, getting ice time. They're starting to feel comfortable with this game.
Cooper, his shot deflected away, and Mackay comes well out of the net to hang on. And while the play was continuing at the other end of the rink, Martin Mackay was favoring that shoulder, that right shoulder of his. He was skating around, moving the arm, and he's still feeling that one. The shot a moment ago by Townsend really did hurt.
Toole and Dampier, Alex Dampier, the GB coach and the Sheffield manager, trying to work out what to do about this one.
Mackay goes down as Ruggles goes in. A bouncing puck. Shannon Hope got the shot, and it deflected in. But wherever you see this guy, you see action. Tenacious forechecker, as I've already said. We look at this. Hope took the shot. Mackay perfectly positioned. The rebound with the shot taken by Ruggles. 2 players on him there, and he still gets a shot away.
Do you know what he says when asked what's your favorite number, Hilton? Anyone that comes up on the roulette wheel.
O'Connor and Ruggles going at each other, and their slashing is going to be a penalty. O'Connor was caught by the referee well and truly behind the play. Ruggles hit O'Connor. O'Connor retaliated, and he's not happy about that. But that's the one Branch saw. You always see the second hit, don't they?
It's as we said before, Paul, the referee's in charge. He's got the job of policing affairs, not the players, and it's often the retaliation that gets called. But Hilton Ruggles is really the key play. Look at this, he's got his stick on Mike O'Connor. He's having a dig. Mike O'Connor has a go back. Even after it all, Rob Wilson threw a punch from behind on Hilton Ruggles that went unpunished as well. The Steelers will lose influential Mike O'Connor to the bin for 2 minutes. And the Devils have another opportunity, a man advantage, in which to try and stretch their lead. The Steelers going as the second period wears on, Paul, with just the 2 lines. They seem to have dropped the 3rd line, and we're not seeing some of the younger players out there on the ice, and that could prove to be a mistake.
You're absolutely right. If you have those players, play them, try to wear down the Devils. The Devils, as we said, are shorthanded. They're missing 3 key players with Manson, Heavey, and Cooper, all defensemen. And right now, McEwen is filling the position. McEwen, big shot, hits the pads, loose puck on the far side. Hope picks it up back at the point. The Devils with the man advantage. Lawless slams on the brakes right at the side of the net. Cooper roughed up a bit. Ruggles now looking for places to go. Slides it right in front. Shudra let that go as it goes to the far side of the rink. Ruggles along the boards. Cooper is there too. Bouncing puck off the side of the net. And right now it's all Cardiff deep in Sheffield territory. 1 minute 20 seconds remaining on the power play as O'Connor sits out there in the penalty box. McEwen doubles back. McEwen hits the blue line. Good little move still with McEwen. Poke check at the last minute. And Nemeth tries to do it on his own. Nemeth, big shot upstairs, and that's deflected high over the plexi, and we'll have another face-off.
The Cardiff Devils were really working their power play well there on that last spell. And then after this pressure from the Devils, in which McEwen fires it in deep, and they end up with 2 or 3 guys buzzing around the net.
I'll tell you, Mackay had problems with that. He closed the pads, hit the inside of the pad, and squirted across in front of the net. He made the save, but it's not one of the prettiest ones you'll ever see.
He'll tell you he's had some bad luck in this game already, and he needed some good luck by now.
You'll probably tell me he's been practicing that for months.
You taught him it.
59 seconds remaining on the power play. Cranston loses out to Dumas, and McEwen goes for a skate in the far side of the rink. Dumas now at the red line, coming up. Dumas with Cranston on his back. Good defensive stuff from Tim Cranston as he shoots that all the way down the ice. 40 seconds on the power play. Dumas in the neutral zone. Townsend on the far side now. Chin behind him. Chin dances along the blue line. Chin feeds it back. Not a great pass from Chin as that's golfed all the way down the ice. 25 seconds on the man advantage for the Devils. 5-2 the score. Cardiff in the lead. McEwen with a head of steam. Hits the red, the blue, tries to poke that through the defense, and again, they have McEwen's number out there. 7 seconds on the power play. Coming back on the attack. Hope, big shot. Mackay again, well out of his net, gloves that down. 1 second on the power play.
So Mike O'Connor will step back onto the ice. I always think it's a danger time for teams and for goalkeepers just after penalties finish. Shannon Hope brings this one, winds up for the big shot. And Mark Mackay gets hold of it, back off the backboards, and then we have the whistle.
Face-off deep in Steeler territory. 8:21 remaining on the second period. 1 second on the Devils' power play. O'Connor gets set to jump on the ice as the officials call the teams together. Keating loses out, and Millie picks up the puck. O'Connor is back on the ice. The Steelers are back at full strength, and they really have to start taking shots on this goal. Offside is the call, as the Steelers found themselves ahead of that puck as they went over the blue line. Whistle blows with Young, George Young that is, the linesman calling that one. Face-off just outside the blue line. 5-2 the scoreline. Cardiff leading the home team Steelers. 8 minutes and 9 seconds remaining on the second period, and the Devils need some inspiration from someone. They're flat right now, and they need a team leader out there. Someone to do something like a big hit, maybe even get a penalty, but make it worthwhile. They need to get this team back the way they were playing in the first period. Lawless tries to steal that back. Some good stuff from Cranston and Lawless out there. A good hit along the boards. Cranston tries to get in and set that one free. As Lawless picks himself up, Tommy Plummer standing over him, and Lawless was telling me that he hasn't really done anything serious on skates since May of this year, but you can never believe what Lawless is going to tell you, especially before a game.
Well, he's retired the number 9 a couple of times, hasn't he? And he's stood out there wearing it now, and will be wearing it in the European Cup, and he's just taken a big hit from Tommy Plummer, a guy who could turn the game.
More comebacks than Frank Sinatra, they're saying about John Lawless. Shannon Hope, Cranston is on him. So is Millie, and that's shot down to the blue line. A long pass along the boards is not a good one by O'Connor. Plummer taken out of the play, pass forward, and Ruggles gets it up to Cooper. Cooper on the right side, looking for help, gives it to McEwen. McEwen takes the shot right at the skates, and Mackay again well out of his net to make the save. Big hit by McEwen right in neutral ice territory. Cooper tries to bring it through. Lawless has it. And Plummer is having trouble getting up in neutral ice territory. He was flattened. Ruggles has the puck. The fans here want the whistle to blow, but the referee said we're going to play on as long as we have Cardiff with possession. Plummer is down, and McEwen flattened him in neutral ice territory. Look at this. Plummer is looking down at the puck. Where is McEwen? Right there in his face. Dougie McEwen gets the shoulder in, and for a moment it was lights out for Plummer.
It was a cracking hit, wasn't it? Plummer had his head down. You always tell the youngsters when you're coaching them, keep your head up in this game. You've got to be looking all around.
The fans who support the Sheffield Steelers in their thousands here were calling for a whistle, but referee Branch said no way, let's wait until the Steelers touch that puck, and they did, and the whistle blew. Plummer makes his way to the bench, and he'll be counting his fingers, toes, and probably his teeth while he's getting a well-deserved rest. Plummer got a good shoulder from McEwen. As we get set for this face-off deep in Steeler territory, Handy against Dumas. Dumas and Handy being told by the officials to get their sticks on the ice. Stone, his shot takes the deflection. Chin at the second attempt gets that in over the, or keeps it in the zone rather. Townsend couldn't hang on to it. Carson now back at the blue line. Chin tried to get a stick on that. Handy throws it to the far side. Townsend is there. Townsend, who's playing some good hockey out there on the big line for Cardiff, flipped it in. Dumas couldn't keep it in, but Carson does. 6:13 remaining on the period. The Steelers looking for something magical as they work it down the ice. Nemeth works to the right side, gets round Townsend. Tries to get round Stone, right in front. Loose puck is there. Look at the number of Devils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back in defense as Chris Kellen goes all the way back deep over his own red line. Less than 6 minutes on the period now. 5-2 the score still, with the Devils hanging on to that 3-goal cushion out there. The Steelers coming back, trying to get the shot away. Wood goes down as Handy was rocking in there with Neal. And the two of them have really been unable to string it together here in the second period.
Minor problem the Devils get away with while this play's coming down the ice. One of the youngsters goes to the bench out of shot, and Shannon Hope and Doug McEwen both jump on the ice, and that's one of the problems you're going to get. While Ron Handy was trying to score for the Sheffield Steelers, McEwen, who's been playing forward 1 minute and defence the next, jumped on the ice for a defenseman, and so did Shannon Hope, and he ended up with 6 players on the ice, but the ref didn't spot it. Shannon Hope spotted it first and got back off the ice quick time.
Hope gets it over to McEwen. McEwen, that deflects nicely for Doyle. Doyle couldn't get the shot away. Doyle, who hadn't seen a lot of action, had a golden opportunity out there to make it 5-3. That didn't happen. Didn't have time to really get it away. Keating is spun out by Wilson, but the Devils flip it to the far side of the rink. And the Steelers now, with a roar of approval from this excellent crowd here, push it down on the far side. And the youngsters are starting to throw their weight around there for the Devils. They feel confident and they look good out there. Francis working with Keating. Keating tried to freeze that along the boards, but there was no one there to offer any resistance. Smith, who's got the big shot, lets it go, puts it upstairs, and at the second attempt, the goaltender Mackay decides to hang on to it for a face-off. He put it down, looked around, and said, "Sorry, folks, let's stop this one in a hurry."
Let's all take a breather, he says. Now the Sheffield Steelers' third line here with Doyle and Shudra up front with Mark Wright looks more comfortable in their own end than they do at the other in the attack zone, but that's expected. Shudra's a defenseman, Doyle's a defenseman, and they're playing out of position up front. They look happier coming out of their own end than they do when they're attacking deep in Devils territory.
Cooper gets it back to Hope. The Steelers, with 4.5 minutes remaining on the period, fire it all the way in with Plummer back on the ice. Plummer lets it wide, but there was no one back there. Kellen tried to shoot it back in the zone from neutral ice territory, and that deflected just a few feet from our commentary position.
Chris Kellen's seen a lot of action with a lot of teams. Played at Murrayfield, played at Nottingham, both times with Alex Dampier. Alex Dampier moved to Sheffield, brought Kellen with him 40 miles up the motorway. Now they're looking down the barrel together in this one against the Devils.
Hope steals that at center. Hope hits the blue line. Good move by the big defenseman. Hope goes in, is double teamed and spun around, eventually loses the puck. Bouncing puck comes up to the red line, and the Devils are finding themselves out of position, but when they do that, the wingers are covering for them. Shannon Hope was well and truly out of position, but he had a lot of support from the wingers who were back on defense. 4 minutes now remaining on the period. Ruggles, Lawless loses that, gives it to Cooper, who's on his own. A 1-on-3 situation. Cooper elects to bounce it off the plexiglass and put it to the far side of the ring. Good move by Ruggles. Ruggles has got Cooper. Cooper in the corner as Ruggles is hit, hangs on to the puck, eventually taken off the puck. And again, we see the Steelers having problems stringing these passes together. They're not trying to do anything tricky out there, just make 1 or 2 passes. Plummer on the backhand side. Put it out front, but there was no one there with a white shirt on to pick it up. McEwen saw that one coming all the way. Lawless rather, with Ruggles. Ruggles, that was a good play. Shot, good save by the goaltender. Again, the Steelers come back over the line. Handy drops back, looking for the pass. It doesn't come his way. Handy works into the corner. Again, it bobbles away from his stick. Plummer has a chance, lets the shot go, fanned on it completely, couldn't get any steam on it. Plummer and Neal now working. Back to Nemeth. Nemeth puts it upstairs, and Wood hangs on to that. And both teams will be allowed to complete their changes out there. 2:48 remaining on the period, still 5-2 out there. The Devils hanging on to this 3-goal cushion.
Steve Nemeth, recently back with the Sheffield Steelers, steps onto the ice for a shift and just got that shot away. But it's the second line of the Sheffield Steelers, officially the second line. Statistically, they're way out in front. Millie with 16 goals, Plummer with 6, Cranston with 8. They're the ones that are going to get things going, but the Devils know that, and that's why they're trying to shut them down.
Millie, for one, has been quiet out there. This guy has got good wheels, he's got good moves and a good shot, but he really hasn't had the space. Chin on the right side. Chin up against Wilson. Still with Chin as he's spun around. Wilson stayed with him. Good move from him. Long pass up the middle. Nemeth tapped it down and is eventually taken out of the play as Carson gets a bear hug in there. Chin right at the blue line, bounces it off the boards, did the right thing as he saw a big Mike O'Connor waiting for him. Handy high flip into the corner. Stone and Townsend go back to help out for the Devils. 2 minutes now remaining on the period. Stone finds Dumas. Dumas has Chin, a 2-on-2 situation. Shot off the end of the stick of Martin Mackay, who puts it upstairs off the plexi. Millie now. Millie with a chance. Lets his shot go, and McEwen got in front of that. McEwen, good pass over to Lawless. Lawless hits the blue line, tries to give it back to McEwen. Good stuff. McEwen gets the shot away. Mike O'Connor was all over Doug McEwen, but he still somehow got that shot away. Long pass goes all the way down the ice, and icing is the call. This guy, McEwen, so very dangerous. I know I've picked holes in his defensive play at times, but hey, the guy's playing good two-way hockey out there, and he is so dangerous when he's on the attack. Mike O'Connor was all over him like a glove, like a blanket. Say what you will, but he still gets the shot away. Look at this. O'Connor, well, what is he going to do? Rope and tie him?
I'm surprised Mike O'Connor didn't get a penalty, and he didn't get a penalty because Doug McEwen was tenacious enough to still get the shot away. Doug McEwen, 31 years old, a GB international, once sacked by the Peterborough Pirates because they said he wasn't good enough for the Premier Division.
Well, there you have it. The shot in was fanned on by Cranston. A chance for Shudra on the left side. Gets around McEwen. Shudra to the side of the net, all the way back. Shot is low, and it's kept upstairs, or put upstairs rather, by Jason Wood. 1 minute 7 seconds remaining on this period as we take a look at that hard shot that's just off the ice.
And Jason Wood just tips it away with the stick over the plexiglass and into the big curtain at the left-hand end of the Sheffield Arena. The game's opened up a little bit, Paul, all of a sudden. Both sides seem to be hitting open ice, and Cardiff don't seem to be using one player as they were Ruggles earlier in the period to get in the faces. They seem to be taking turns to get in the faces of the Sheffield Steelers.
Cranston tries to glove that back, but it didn't happen. McEwen got the draw. Hope came in to help out, and the Devils, with 1 minute remaining on the period, get it out, but Chris Kellen fires it right back in. McEwen, who's seeing a lot of ice out there, breaks up on the left side of his net and gives it to Cooper. Kellen, good pass to the far side. The Steelers need some good shots on goal. They're getting the shots on goal, but they're not quality shots. A lot of them are right at the midriff of the goaltender. Millie unable to spin around with the big forward Ruggles on him. Now the diminutive forward Lawless picks it up and breaks on the backhand side. Lawless upstairs, and the goaltender lost that for a moment, batted away. Cooper keeps it low. Ruggles is right out front, got the tip but missed the net. Right in front again. Kelland unable to get a stick on it. Cooper tries to go in and tip it away. A good finish to this period by the Devils as the Steelers struggle in their own zone. Well, there goes the buzzer to end the second period. An excellent period by the Cardiff Devils. 3 goals. Townsend, Dumas, and Ruggles have brought it to 5-2.
Sheffield Steelers can't get into the dressing room quick enough to hear what the coach wants them to do third period and turn this one around. And the Cardiff Devils are going into the dressing room full of heart and great spirits, and they're coming off the ice just behind the Sheffield Steelers now, all of them crowding round Jason Wood to pat him on the pads and say what a good job you've done as the last line of defence.
Well, we're going to take a break right now. Stay with us, folks. We have 20 minutes of live hockey coming up. We'll be back.
You're watching Sky Sports.
There wouldn't have been too many people here in Sheffield who would have thought that that would be the scoreline at this stage. Sheffield 2, Cardiff 5, and they're playing really well.
Well, it was the 3-goal lead we were talking about at the beginning, but I thought it would go to the Sheffield way. Little do we know that intensity and the pride that the Cardiff team has within themselves. They're a heck of a hockey club. They deserve the lead right now. They're playing very disciplined.
They had their goal plan. They're sticking to it, and it's working.
It's working to a T for them, and they don't want to get off it. Right now, they're playing defense, and they will stay that way. Take control, make a chance or two for themselves, and create a chance to score on those chances. But for Sheffield, they have to put pressure, and it's going to open up more holes in the back end for them. The biggest thing for Sheffield coming to third period, composure. Try and get onto your game plan, what you feel is going to beat them, and hope that it works out for you.
Okay, we'll have a look at the Cardiff goals in just a moment. As I said, Cardiff was suffering from a lot of injury problems. One of those injury problems is with Chris Bowers, our reporter now. Chris.
Yes, I have with me Paul Heavey, one of the injured Cardiff Devils. Paul, it's a remarkable scoreline, isn't it?
Well, it's a good scoreline for our point of view, of course, you know, but there's still a long way to go. 2-2 in the first period, we've come out in the second period, get 3 goals, so we've got a 3-goal lead now, and we've got another 20 minutes to go. Still a long way to go, so if we can defend and keep that scoreline, I'll be happy at the end of the game.
You're going to struggle to get your place back, aren't you? I mean, they're playing so well in defence, the Devils.
Well, got a few guys injured. I'm injured. Stephen Cooper's had a bad injury. Young Manson's injured. So we've got forwards playing in defence. So I think when the D do get better and they do come back, we can put the forwards back up front, you know, and get back to the way we normally play.
Do you think that the Sheffield hit a bad day?
Oh, I don't know. I think we are doing quite well under the circumstances, you know. We're the underdogs with short strength, and we're just playing a defensive game, and we're taking our chances when we get them. We've had a few lucky breaks around their neck, and that's the way it goes.
There's a confident Cardiff Devil, Simon.
Thanks very much. Right, 5-2 then is the scoreline. 3 goals for Cardiff in that second period. We can have a look at them now with Rocky. And the 2 of them came right at the start of the second period. It was a real hammer blow, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know, the very first goal was Nicky Chin made something happen very early on his first shift. He got into the corner and he made a great hit in the corner, which just allowed him to get in the period quickly. All of a sudden now a bad clearance pass there. It goes to Nicky Chin in the high slot, and he just stuffs it home. Again, Martin Mackay has to be able to control those rebounds. The rebound can't go back out front. It has to go to the corner out of harm's way.
That made it 3-2, and then 13 seconds later, Claude Dumas made it 4-2.
You know, no chance really for Martin Mackay on this goal. Right off the draw, he has an opportunity, you know, to come out. He comes out of his net to stop the shot that's supposed to be coming at him, but the shot deflects twice. The first shot deflects right there, and it comes to Dumas. He just sticks his stick out, and it goes in past Martin Mackay. Martin Mackay had no chance in that whatsoever.
Then we had a period of Sheffield pressure, a lot of pressure, but it never seemed to come anything. Wood in the goal was doing really well for Cardiff.
Yeah, again, Jason Wood made the big saves, but Cardiff again kept things to the outside, and then all of a sudden, as they just about 5 seconds before this, Sheffield tried to have some opportunities, and they never had a scoring chance. All of a sudden, Cardiff comes up the ice, one little play, and the puck goes across right to Hilton Ruggles, who just makes a really nice move going around the defense and stuffs home a very pretty goal here. Again, a situation where Cardiff is playing defense. It's easy for them to play defense. All of a sudden they go in the offense, and Sheffield, who's been pressuring, has a defensive situation come against them. And they're not quite sure how to react to it. You let a guy like Hilton Ruggles right there get an opportunity to break through the middle unmolested, get a pass in, he's going to create goals for your team. And you know, Cardiff's playing right to the tee, Sheffield struggling.
You mentioned frustration is one of the key words for Sheffield. They've got to keep in mind that there's not just 1 period left, there's 3 periods tomorrow night as well. They can come back from this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the big thing again is, said frustration. Let's not get frustrated out there, guys, is what Alex is probably talking about. You know, it's still 20 minutes of ice hockey left here to play. Who knows how the first one goes in. We might get a good first goal. The second goal might be off a guy's foot. Now we're only down 1, and with 15, 16 minutes to play, or 10 minutes to play, we have an opportunity to get back in this game. You have to stay focused. You have to stay in control. You have to stay on your game plan. Whatever has brought you to here to make you success now. Don't go throw it out the window and try something different. Stay in your game plan, do what's been successful for you, and maybe the Cardiff team breaks down a bit.
Two guys you were eulogizing while we were watching that second period. The goalkeeper, Jason Wood, you mentioned, and Doug McEwen, too.
Dougie McEwen, I mean, I had the opportunity last weekend to play, and I chased Dougie once around his net, twice around his net. He went up the ice, deked through 3 guys, and I'm on his tail, following him all the way to my goal, and then he finally scored, and I went running into the goalpost on him. You know, the guy's just been in the league for about 8-9 years or so. He has a lot of stamina. In a play here, he made a great play behind his net, made a good deke coming out, made a pretty pass up the ice, followed the play up, got the return pass, broke in on goal, made a great scoring opportunity, back check to center ice, hit Plummer with the best hit probably of the month to put Plummer down and out, and he did that all in one shift, and he went back the next time the ice, did the same thing again, playing great leadership.
Okay, so Sheffield, who've not been beaten here in over a year, 5-2 down, going to the final period, which you can see right after this break.
Happened to a better man either. Plummer's been waiting for that one for a long time.
And he was on the floor for the best part of a minute after that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a beauty of a check. You know, us old guys got to compliment each other once in a while. We get physical like that. It was a great check.
Okay, let's get on to the third period now, the final period. 5-2 it is the Cardiff. Let's join Gary and Paul.
Well, Rocky Saganut really likes that physical stuff, doesn't he? 5-2 the score. 20 minutes of hockey left in this game. Tomorrow night, the teams will do it all over again in Cardiff. The Devils in this period will be playing from right to left, and there's the man who's been playing some excellent two-way hockey. He hasn't picked up a goal in this one yet, but he really has been making himself felt out there.
Well, he's got an assist along the way, but as you say, Paul, he's been everywhere for the Cardiff Devils. In fact, I'm surprised he hasn't strapped the pads on and gone in nets for the final period, but there again, Jason Wood's been playing a good game in nets for the Devils. Now, people might be thinking the Cardiff Devils could run out of steam third period, and the extra bodies the Sheffield Steelers have been using should tell. That would be the theory. In practice, the Devils have to be one of the fittest teams in the British League, even if they are 3 key defensemen missing.
Martin Mackay has just come out of the dressing room very, very late, and I'm sure that he was receiving treatment on that right shoulder. He took a blast from Townsend that went upstairs, bounced off the shoulder. The shoulder pad is there, as I said, but it's not capable of sustaining a shot going that fast, and so he's got a bruised shoulder. And the good thing for the Steelers is that he's still out on the ice. The face-off from Paul Branch, the Steelers playing from left to right, as that's flipped over to the far side. Millie with Cranston on one side, Plummer on the far side, and not a great clearance there as that comes out to the blue line. The Steelers get out of the zone to avoid the offside. And I'm sure we're going to see much more of the same from the Devils. Some defensive hockey, take the opportunities when they come. And we're going to see something, well, we hope we're going to see something more positive from the Steelers. They're going to need some good shots on goal. They're going to need to string the simple plays together. Kellen flips it into the corner. No one there to pick it up as that's flipped high along the boards. Cooper looking to get it to Ruggles. That went all the way down to the blue line to O'Connor. Millie was free on the right side. That didn't happen for him. McEwen all the way back in his own zone. 1 minute gone on the period. A slow start for both teams as the Devils just shoot it down the ice. Kellen drops it back into his own zone, and again, neither team coming out with the force that the Devils came out in the second period. Neal looking for the pass from Handy. Handy elects to shoot it all the way down. Off the plexi. Bobbles out to the blue line, and a chance now for the Devils as Lawless gets it up. Cooper. The high shot is off the plexiglass. Ruggles on the far side is taken out of the play before he can get the puck. McEwen tries to keep that in the zone, but it didn't happen. Cooper along the board stutters. The shot comes in and is deflected away as Nemeth let go a quick release, and Woodsy had to react quickly.
Another good save from Jason Wood, but a nice burst of speed from Nemeth, and I think his speed is underlined and perhaps to a certain extent exaggerated by Ron Handy's lack of speed, but Nemeth with the blistering shot there, which Jason Wood gets enough on to deflect over the plexiglass and into the crowd. And Alex Dampier telling his line they did a good job out there.
Shudra loses out to Dumas as the Devils now come back with Carson. Carson flips it up. The shot comes in. Another shot is there. Goaltender was down. Dumas had 2 for the price of 1. Dumas again from the top of the circle. Double teamed on the play as he was taken out by Wright, who hasn't seen a lot of action. Wright getting behind him with the good hook. The fake shot. Pass goes across the blue line, and the Steelers unable to get things going out there. 2.5 minutes gone in the period. Carson way deep, bangs it off the boards to Townsend. Townsend, who picked up that first goal in the second period, pressed along the boards by Wright, eventually shoots it beyond Shudra. Chin tries to work in. Chin and Neil Abel, 2 big guys, go down, square off, and neither one came out on top of that. Stone loses control of the puck on the near side, flips it back onto the D. Millie tries to get himself together. That doesn't happen, and here come the Devils. Dumas scores! Big goal! About 35 feet out, low shot, solo effort by the French-Canadian.
Dumas pounces on the puck there, kicks it forward, and then takes it in and fires a blistering shot which thrills the Cardiff travelling fans. They'll outnumber the Sheffield fans tomorrow, but it's Dumas who comes forward with a blistering shot. Now Sheffield were trying to change their third line on the fly and got caught short up front, and that allowed Dumas in at the back door.
Another look at this. Dumas heads up hockey, takes a quick glance to see where the puck is. Goaltender perhaps partly screened on that one. Nevertheless, it's now 6-2. Devils leading the Steelers. O'Connor lets this one fly, and Wood punches that one into the corner. Cranston gets it back. O'Connor wants it on this side, but it's flipped into the far side. Millie finds a bit of space behind the goal, dumps it back. O'Connor is cruising out front. He has his stick up. He wants the shot. It doesn't come his way. Lawless comes up to the blue line, has to go back to the red line, and eventually just fires it in. Wilson gives it to Cranston. Cranston back to Wilson. The Steelers now with a sense of urgency about their play. Shot right on the goal. You're not going to score goals on a goaltender of Jason Wood's caliber if you shoot it right at his pads or right at his midriff. Boy, you've got to hit those corners, make him the top 2 or the bottom 2 or even the 5-hole between the pads. But if you put it right at him, he's going to stop him.
Well, he's got a save percentage of just under 85% before this one started in the Cup. The only thing that surprises me about Jason Wood is that he's only played for Great Britain in exhibition games.
Well, the GB coach Alex Dampier is looking on. Perhaps that will change in the near future. Townsend taps it back, and Abel puts it over to the far side. Kellen sees an opening, puts it along the boards. Townsend is there with Nemeth on his tail. Mackay has to stop that as Abel goes deep. Abel and Kellen back for the Steelers as the big line of Handy and Neal and Nemeth work their way down the ice. Quickly clear it along the boards. Townsend can't control it. Kellen puts it in nicely. Nemeth is there. Shot again on the target. And Wood smothers that.
Another shot right at Jason Wood, and he smothers them and says, thanks very much, Steve Nemeth. I'll pick those all day like apples off a tree. Nemeth circles well, and in the high slot area, as it's known, fires a nice wrist shot, but it's not nice enough. It's not in the corners, as you say, Paul. And it's again the Devils fans that join in with the rink announcer here with the music. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the stadium, the Sheffield fans are as quiet as that bench there.
Shudra, his shot from inside the circle is wide of the net. Shudra, big hit on the far side. That's the kind of thing the Steelers need to bring themselves back into this game. O'Connor puts it over to Wilson. Away from Keating, back to O'Connor. Right on the right wing, calls forward, but Shudra hangs onto it. Hits the red. Shot just wide of the target. They need more of that. Smith sees a bit of daylight, can't get the puck out. It comes right back into the near corner. Keating makes his way up on the left side. He takes a hit, and it's punched away as Wright starts to throw his weight around. Hope got the pass from McEwen. A long clearance, gets it out of the zone, and the Steelers pump it right back in. Wilson fires it upstairs. Wood puts it down for Shannon Hope. 14 minutes and 44 seconds remaining on the hockey game. The Steelers need to do it now. Shot right on the target. Mackay is out there, gets the stick up very, very high indeed as Neil Francis went by. And Keating went down, but Francis just avoided that stick by a few inches.
First time we've seen Francis, Keating and Smith together as a combination up front for the Cardiff Devils, but that's the way this game's been developing. Hope with the long blast for them there that leads to the little scuffle in front of Martin Mackay. But it's an indication of the 4-goal spread that the third liners, if you'd like to call them that, the Cardiff Devils, sort of fringe players, are very much involved in the action third period, when we would have anticipated their key players would have had to be out there for virtually the full 20 minutes.
Plummer taken out of the play on the far side of the rink, but the Steelers hang on to it. Kellen lets the shot go hard off the backboards. It bounces into the corner with Ruggles there to collect. Cranston goes after Ruggles. Ruggles gets it up on the wing, and here comes Cooper. He's got Lawless trailing. Cooper gets it out front. Mackay hangs onto it and slides it back over the red line. Cranston breaks to the left side, leaves it behind the net. That comes right up the middle again. A hospital pass as Plummer tips it through. The Devils want an icing call. The referee and the linesman say no way. Lawless with a burst of speed elects to drop it back to Hope. Millie is in there. Ruggles high into the lights, bounces it down for Kellen. Steelers change on the fly. 13:34 remaining on the period. Kellen loses out at the red line. Neal puts it to the far side. Nemeth is there with Handy and Neal. Excellent stuff from McEwen. Good defensive move.
Excellent defense from the Cardiff Devils. Full stop ball. Doug McEwen, when he goes forward, Hilton Ruggles drops in on the blue line to cover for him. This is what the Cardiff Devils did in European Cup action, and now they're doing it in domestic action. And that's what I was talking about, their quality experiences, their experiences of success. They're just soaking up the pressure and coming back on the counter-attack time after time.
A quiet night out for the Steelers fans so far, but we still have 13 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in this hockey game. 6-2 the score. O'Connor shoves that through, and Carson slows it down, gets it away from Neal. On the boards to Townsend. Neal goes after Townsend. Carson is in there. Good pass up to Dumas, who controls that. A 2-on-2, 3-on-2 situation now, as that goes all the way down to the goaltender. And again, we don't see anyone there with a white shirt on to pick it up. A lot of the Steelers find themselves way down the ice looking for that quick break. They're going to have to come back and do it in their own zone first and then get out like a unit. But a lot of them have been well and truly down the ice waiting for the big pass. A chance now as Handy goes in, and trickles that by the corner. Handy had Scott Neal trailing, and it didn't work for them as that shot all the way down the ice. Icing will be the call, but that one was close. Had Handy been able to connect on that one, perhaps things might have been different. Let's watch this again.
Handy comes through, nice stick handling, goes the tight route through the middle, through the two young defensemen, Stone and Carson, and then the shot was just, well, half a shot. He didn't quite get the shot away as he wanted to, but it was a nice move to get through the two defensemen.
The problem there was the defenseman did not go after the body. Two guys reaching out for that puck. You don't do that. One guy at least takes the body, but they were both going for the puck, and he decided just to split the defenseman. Said, thank you. Smith rattles himself off the boards and then falls as the puck goes along high. Doyle tries to pick it up. He's taken out of the play, and here come the Steelers. A 2-on-2 situation. Shudra fakes the shot on Francis, eventually gets it away, and that comes in front of the cage. Steelers fire it in, have to come out of the zone to avoid the offside, and the Devils dump it down the ice. Another whistle on the play. And another change of personnel for both teams with 11:44 remaining on the clock in this one.
Still 6-2 to the Steelers, and because of that 4-goal cushion, it was the Devils who were able to recall their third line back to the bench. A line we didn't really expect to see much ice time in the action tonight in this one, but they are out there because there's no need to panic when you're 4 goals to the good with another game to come second leg tomorrow night in Cardiff.
Cranston somehow got that back and goes to the far side. Wilson takes the shot and Wood goes down. Both goaltenders have been doing a great job of coming out and cut down the angles. Wilson let a rocket go from the far point, but the goaltender saw this all the way. Shots from this distance should be screened or tipped, but there was no one there to interfere with the vision on that one.
Well, Millie was the first man there for Sheffield, and he got there after the whistle.
O'Connor on the backhand into the corner, but Hope is there to get it out of the zone. Cranston and Ruggles. Ruggles wins that battle, comes up with the puck, lets it go off the pads as Mackay came out. Millie picks it up now. Back down the ice, Millie breaks to the right side. A chance to shoot, and he does. Low, Plummer went in. The rebound, McEwen picked it up and fed it forward as Lawless came up now. Lawless gets it over to the far side. Cooper gets it to Ruggles, and Ruggles just shoots it down the ice. Get it over that red line and shoot it down the ice. That seems to be the strategy. Plummer having trouble controlling that, elects to go back behind his own net with the puck. Ruggles doing a great job of forechecking out there. Plummer finds an opening along the boards and gives it to Neal. Finds Handy. Handy tried to get it over to Wilson, who is tied up. Nemeth is given that right on the blue line. No offside on the play. All he can do is put it in with 10:34 remaining on the clock. Put it into the corner, that is. Scott Neal, loose puck at the side. Shannon Hope is there. And the Devils take it out of harm's way with the pass out to Nicky Chin. Chin avoids the check from Nemeth, but falls down. Wilson, good move by the defenseman, but can't get over the top of the circle. Flipped off the plexi, comes out into neutral ice zone with Chin. Chin, Ruggles slams on the brakes to avoid the offside. And Cooper can't do the same, though. He was looking around, and eventually the whistle blows for offside, but some good acrobatics out there by Ruggles as he split the blue line to avoid that offside.
I thought the entire line managed to stay onside there, and the Dutch linesman was a little bit premature in blowing his whistle. But the Cardiff Devils go back to the bench, and Ron Shudra stays out there for the Sheffield Steelers. And they love him in Sheffield, Ron Shudra. I don't think Alex could sack him if he wanted to ever in Sheffield. He really is a crowd favourite, but at the moment they'd love him to get down the ice and score a couple more goals.
We are now midway through this final period. 6-2 is the scoreline out there. The Steelers with the puck. Kelland gets over that red line, shoots it in. Wood slows it down. Doyle tries to get a handle on it. Smith turns a rink-wide pass. It is not a bad one as that goes into the far corner. Shudra will collect this one. Shudra quickly fires it to Doyle, who just shoots it down the ice. That's not the kind of thing the Steelers need right now. Smith is back there in a hurry with Wright on his tail. Wright misses his check, and again, the puck is shot the distance. Well, I can understand why the Devils are shooting the puck down the ice. They want to break. They've got a 4-goal lead, but the Steelers are going to have to come up with something a bit more creative than that.
Again, it comes back to the fact that Doyle and Shudra are defensemen playing up front on that third line for the Steelers, but Alex Dampier and Clyde Toole there now resorting to the tactic of all 3 lines going out there on very short shifts. Every line's going out there, and at the first opportunity they're coming back to the bench, and then that way he's hoping to wear down the Cardiff Devils, and if he doesn't get back on level terms in this one, at least he's hoping to get 1 or 2 goals back.
Lawless works hard on the left side, pushes it over with Wilson collecting that in the corner. Wilson takes his time as he moves up on the left side of the rink. We're coming up to the final 9 minutes of the hockey game. Hope goes after Wilson. The puck out front. Millie is right there. Cranston is there chopping away. Jason Wood picks himself up slowly as Cranston has words with Lawless.
The Sheffield Steelers have really lost the battle in this one. You know what I mean, Paul? The physical battle. The Ruggles stood in their faces. Shannon Hope stood in their faces. Ian Cooper stood in their faces. And then when it's around Jason Wood, 2 Sheffield Steelers there. Jason Wood covers up, and no one's having a real dig, a real go at the moment.
O'Connor gets it over to the far side. Wilson takes a shot. That whistles by the post as Millie gloves it down from O'Connor. Behind the red line, Cranston tried to get his stick on it. Millie turns in the corner, shoots it behind the net. A lot of play behind that red line, but they can't score from back there. Wilson lets it go along the ice, deflected, bounces out into the circle, and the Devils again just find an opening and shoot it down the ice. Icing is the call with 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on the period. Still that 4-goal cushion out there for the Devils.
Player manager of the Cardiff Devils, John Lawless, announced he'd be returning to action in next weekend's European Cup. He's back a week early because of the injury to Stephen Cooper, who underwent an operation today. We wish him a speedy recovery from knee ligament damage. But he wanted a change there. He was blowing, and he wanted a change, so he just fired it down the ice, and that's the tactic. That's the tactic at the moment for the Devils. Try and run the clock down. They've got a 4-goal spread.
Townsend up against Handy. Scott Neal taken out of the play as Carson gets it up as far as the blue line. Stone runs into a brick wall behind that net. Scott Neal and Handy doing some good work, but they can't get the puck out. Now Shudra has it. His shot is deflected away by Dumas. Goaltender well out of his net, and the Devils pick it up, bring it out into neutralized territory. Dumas takes a hook. Play is allowed to continue. Shudra picks it up, should find his man on the right wing. Neal with a chance to shoot. Neal loses control. He's got Handy there at the side of the net. Bouncing puck. Can the Steelers get the shot on goal? Deflection. Stops Shudra's shot from going in. Another shot. Nemeth got a piece of that. Nemeth again lets it go. That takes a deflection. Bodies flying all over the place as sticks get up in front of that net, and those shots are deflected everywhere but beyond the red line.
Give some credit to referee Paul Branch here. There's nothing particularly nasty going on out there, and he's letting it flow. He's letting the players have a good dig at each other in front of the net, and the action is quite frenetic out there, and the referee has played his part in this one.
He's played his part by staying out of it, that's for sure. Yeah, deflection there. Shudra took the shot, and that bounced the wrong way for him. Nemeth takes a shot, then he goes out. Watch this, Nemeth is back in the play, trying to get another shot away. Number 10, the first one doesn't go through, and then the second one ends up in the corner.
I don't think Sheffield could buy a goal at the moment.
Boy, they couldn't put a puck in the ocean. 7:16 remaining on the hockey game. Who would have thought the Cardiff Devils would come here under strength and lead at this point of the game by 4 goals? Lawless got a high tip on that play, allowed to continue. O'Connor goes in hard behind the goal, and Paul Branch skates casually over to the timekeeper's bench. Just when we say Branch is staying out of this one, he issues a roughing penalty to O'Connor, and that's why.
Well, I think he had to call that one. It was a little bit blatant. It was there for everybody to see, and the Sheffield fans, well, they may not be rose-tinted glasses, but they're a little bit biased, so that's why the Sheffield fans are upset about the call. But now the Cardiff Devils have a man advantage which will suit them down to the ground. They're 4 goals to the good with 7 minutes and 2 seconds to go in this one, and another 3 periods to come at home tomorrow night.
Kellen gets a little poke, but gives it right to Lawless. Lawless back to Hope. Over to McEwen. Lawless breaks up the middle and picks it up with the red line. Cranston fires it off the boards on the right wing, and Hope is there at his own blue line to pick it up. 1 minute, 38 seconds remaining on the power play. Offside is the call as Hope shot that in. We'll have a face-off just outside the Steelers' blue line, and the Steelers are looking flat. The Devils are doing what they have to do out there to keep the Steelers from scoring goals.
John Lawless taking every opportunity to change. His shifts are getting shorter and shorter, but who can blame him? He's not match fit. There's Mark Wright on the Sheffield bench, been seeing some ice time, but perhaps not enough to wear down the Devils, i.e. the use of the third line.
Ruggles takes a swipe at that and can't keep it in. It's cleared down by Millie. McEwen 1:16 now remaining on the power play for the Devils. McEwen hits the blue line still with McEwen. He loves to do this and then go in on the backhand side and get the shot away. Schuder stayed with him and then plastered him into the boards. Puck along the boards. Cranston goes in. Again, we see players not taking the body. Chin was fed nicely by Shannon Hope right out front, and it just didn't work for them. Shot along the ice. Chin goes in. His stick was lifted by Cranston. Cranston doing some good defensive stuff out there, and then he's flattened by McEwen. Another big hit by Dougie McEwen, who continues to impress. Cranston goes quickly to the bench.
What a great game Doug McEwen's been having for the Cardiff Devils. He's hitting, he's defending, he's attacking.
Right in front, and Mackay got the pad on that. Was that a pass? Was that a shot? 26 seconds on the power play. Wood gets it cleverly up onto the boards, and it somehow comes right back onto Nemeth's stick. Nemeth will go for a skate to kill off the final 13 seconds of this power play. Nice pass right up the middle. Stone unable to find that, but he got some help from Dumas. The Steelers are back at full strength. O'Connor is back on the ice. A shot right there, and Chin almost made it 7.
Just under 5 minutes to go in this one. Still 6-2 to the Cardiff Devils, but surprisingly they're putting the pressure on, and surprisingly they're coming back to the bench with the grins on their faces and the smiles. I say surprisingly by comparison to what we were expecting at the start of this one. Martin Mackay flapping around in his crease there, not getting much help from his defence, and the Devils really piling on the pressure. Some lovely stuff from Chin, who missed the target, it has to be said, but also some great stuff from Ruggles for setting up during that last play.
This has been a terrible game for goaltenders. Now, don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying they've played bad hockey. What I'm talking about is the shots that have come their way. They've been bouncing, they've been rolling, they've been taking deflections, they've been screen shots. Goaltenders' nightmare out there, but they're handling them nicely. Well, most of them anyway. Into the corner. Carson getting back strong. A chance as that goes right through. Cranston tries to hammer it home. Second attempt doesn't work for Tim Cranston. Right out front, deflected away, and Dumas is there to try to pick it up. Millie feeds that behind the goal. Stone is there. Cranston tries to grab it at the far side, and Cranston gets his stick up high on Carson. And again, things get a little rough in front of that net. 4 minutes, 19 seconds left on the game. Both teams giving as good as they get out there.
Lee Carson taking a big shot after the whistle there from Tim Cranston. Some of his older line mates like Claude Dumas and Nicky Chin weighing in there. And when I say older line mates like Nicky Chin, he's all of 22 years of age, Nicky Chin, but playing like a veteran. Lots more pressure. Plummer fires it through the crease. Cranston with the shot. Jason Wood was already down, but the shot was straight onto the keeper's shirt, onto the protection, and it deflected wide. And then we had the pile-up afterwards. Lawless with the face-off for the Devils now.
Cranston will want to look at that one again. He had a golden opportunity to put it upstairs, put it into the padding, and Abel picks it up deep. 6-2, Cardiff leading the Sheffield Steelers. I, for one, thought it would go the other way quite convincingly. Thought the Steelers, in front of this excellent home crowd, would walk away with this one in this building anyway. It's very tough to win in Cardiff, so they need a good show here tonight to make anything happen tomorrow. From the side of the net, the whistle had already blown, so that puck that was tapped into the net is not going to count.
Well, that sums up the Steelers' third period, doesn't it? The only time they could get the puck in the net is after a whistle, so the goal wouldn't count from Scott Neal there. 3:43 to go. What we really need are a couple of Steelers goals just before the finish of this one to set us up nicely for tomorrow's second leg.
Well, Handy and Plummer did it for the Steelers in the first period, but that's all it's been for them. Ruggles, Cooper, Townsend, Dumas, and Ruggles, and Dumas again have scored for the Devils. It's 6-2. Lawless up to Ruggles. Ruggles tips it through and breaks over the red line. Ruggles goes to avoid the check as O'Connor gets his hands up high, puts the grab and brings him down, but Ruggles continues to play with that puck even though he's down on his knees. Wilson gets it up to Plummer on the wing. A 3-on-3 situation now. A chance as the shot comes in down low. The save is there. Another chance as Wilson goes in. The shot. Rebound. Plummer is right at the side of the net. And it's just not happening for the Steelers as that puck was bouncing around in front of Wood. And the quality shot didn't come. They just couldn't put it by the 22-year-old goaltender as O'Connor flips it in the corner. 2 minutes and 49 seconds remaining on the game. Chin to McEwen. Puck now behind Wood as that star for the Devils. McEwen feeds it along the boards to the hash marks. Nemeth wants it and gets it. Nemeth puts it in the corner. Millie is out front looking for the pass from Handy. O'Connor wants it back at the blue line and he gets it and just punches it right back in behind the red line to the far side of the net. The return pass upstairs. And the Steelers, as we said a moment ago, couldn't buy a goal, and they still can't buy a goal out there.
Sheffield keeping the pressure on. Best spell of pressure they've had in the whole period, but the Cardiff Devils quite happy to sit back and soak it up. 3 men back, 2 on the point duty, covering for the long shots. And that's the way the Devils played it in Europe, and they're playing it so well again tonight.
Less than 2 minutes on the clock here in Sheffield. A chance now as Scott Neal lets the shot go, tries to squeeze it through. It's behind the goaltender in the crease, and Jason Wood lost that, but things have been going his way, and they continue to go his way in this hockey game. He tried to squeeze that between the arm and the padding as Scott Neal lets go the shot from the right wing. Look at this, it falls behind the pads.
Doesn't quite know where it is, does he? Shannon Hope doesn't. He gets down behind him, and Jason Wood realizes where it is and promptly sits down and covers it up.
Again, from a different angle. Goaltender loses it. Look at that. No way that was going to trickle back into the goal, but nevertheless, if it's free, the referee won't blow a whistle. We got a timeout on the ice. 1:45 remaining on this hockey game. 6-2 is the score. The Devils really have deserved this lead. They played some intelligent hockey. The Steelers have come back strong in this third period, but they're not getting the breaks.
Well, the Cardiff Devils are happy to soak up the pressure. They'll have a face-off next to their goal when this timeout is concluded, but both coaches getting the chance to talk to their troops. Alex Dampier just resting the tired legs. It'll be his top line that goes out there, a mixture of the second and first line. Shudra, Cranston, Nemeth, Neal and Kellen going out for him. And then for the Cardiff Devils, the likes of Nicky Chin and Claude Dumas and Shannon Hope will be given a job. And Jason Stone back on defence as his colleague Jason Wood goes in to nets. But with 1:45 to go, the Steelers desperately want a goal or two to try and set things up for the second leg.
1 minute and 45 seconds rather of hockey to play, and the rink announcer here trying to get the fans into this one, but it's too little too late, I'm afraid. Stone along the boards gets hit from Cranston. Cranston tries to play that through to Nemeth, and he does. Nemeth has a lot of tricks, but can he pull this one out? Nemeth to the far side of the rink. Cranston was clear and still is on this side. Had that puck run, and we have another whistle on the play, but no one seems to be able to find Tim Cranston out there as Hope, with that big smile, picks himself up off the ice. Face-off goes outside the zone as he looks at the clock. 1:25 remaining. Cranston on 2 occasions left all alone on the far post. Nobody there, and nobody able to get the pass over to him.
Well, Shannon Hope taking his time getting up from this one. He collided with the linesman and fell over in the corner, rather the referee, Paul Branch. But he makes the most of it, laughing and joking, because he wanted the extra rest.
Shooter races in on this one. Batted down just inside the blue line. Millie tries to get it in front. The back end, they score! Plummer at the far side of the net. Millie and Shudra instrumental in putting that one together. 6-3 now. 1 minute, 15 seconds to go in the game.
Manager Alex Dampier works some magic, takes the time out, and then sends the troops forward to get a goal. It was another nicely worked move, and for once Jason Wood doesn't follow the play right across to the far post. And the man they called the Duke, Tommy Plummer, turns it in on a super feed from Les Millie, and that's the second line of the Sheffield Steelers, the one that's been scoring most goals in the Cup so far.
Bounced off the boards with 1 minute, 4 seconds. Shudra gets it to the far side of the rink. all the way in by Kellen, comes rocketing around to Cranston. Cranston gives it to Hope, and the Devils pick up the puck. They can skate with it and kill this off in the neutral zone. 50 seconds now as Cooper plays with it along the boards. Cooper out there with Ruggles. Ruggles can't control it, but Lawless is there to pick it up. Lawless with room to move right in the crease, and McCoy has to come up with the save as he picks himself up slowly on the goal line. 38 seconds to go, 6-3 the score, and I really do not think the Steelers can pick up 3 goals in 38 seconds, but let's not count them out. Anything can happen in hockey, but that would be pure magic for Steelers fans here in this beautiful arena in Sheffield.
It would be, but you've got to remember, Paul, there's 60 minutes and 38 seconds to go, although it will be a tough 60 minutes down in Cardiff tomorrow night. The fans here went quiet on their home side for a long, long time in this one. They're not used to seeing their team behind.
It's important that the Steelers at least close the gap, even if they can't tie it. O'Connor put it in, and the Devils go for a skate as O'Connor races in the corner, tries to get the puck out front. Bouncing puck along the boards. Neal, as that whistle blows with just 18 seconds remaining, and face-off will be deep in Cardiff territory to the left of the goaltender as he looks down the ice. 3-goal cushion if it stays this way for tomorrow night's game, which will be seen on Sky once again. McEwen gets the call for the face-off along with Handy, an important face-off. Nemeth picks up the puck in the circle, lets the shot go from close in, deflected away. Nemeth picked it up and tried to wrap it around, but there was all sorts of movement in that crease. 1 or 2 punches thrown there after the whistle as the officials try to sort this one out and keep these guys apart. 13 seconds on the clock, and the last thing both teams need right now is to lose guys for tomorrow night's game.
It all started when Jason Wood, sitting in the back of his own net, had a little bit of a dig, a little bit of a slash at one of the Sheffield Steelers players. And then Hilton Ruggles piled in, but I think Hilton Ruggles was just doing what he did earlier in the game, getting in their faces, winding them up, rubbing it in, just to give everyone a little bit of a spell and a little bit of a breather, if you like what I mean. Wood takes the hit there, and Scott Neely standing there saying, I didn't mean to do anything. And then at first Jason Wood had a little reaction. Ruggles reacted the most, then the argy-bargy started. Ron Handy's in the thick of it, Scott Neal and Hilton Ruggles. But I think Ruggles was just trying to keep the momentum Cardiff's way.
Well, the face-off goes their way because the net was knocked off its moorings. The face-off comes out into neutralized territory. That's shot all the way in by Nemeth. And this is going to be the hockey game. 4 seconds on the clock. A long pass up to Ruggles is a 2-liner. And the buzzer goes. And that's the end of it. 6-3. The Devils picked up 2 goals in the first period with Ruggles and Cooper putting the puck over the red line. Handy and Plummer did it for Sheffield. It looked like it was going to be close, and then the second period was all Cardiff. Townsend, the youngster, had a golden opportunity and made no mistake. Dumas and then Ruggles, and then in the third period, 1 each with Dumas for Cardiff and Plummer for the Sheffield Steelers. 6-3. An excellent hockey game. The Cardiff Devils came here under strength, and they really did perform well. They used everyone that they could use out there, and all these guys played good two-way hockey.
Well, the Sheffield Steelers' game plan was to use the 3 lines and keep wearing down the Cardiff Devils. The Cardiff Devils second-guessed them, didn't they? They knew that was the plan, and they accounted for it. They had extra men back on defense, and they played back, and they soaked up the pressure, and they struck on the counter-attack, and that second period really went their way with that 3-0 scoreline, and that's where they won the game, obviously. A 3-goal spread, they'll be more than happy. They wouldn't have predicted this.
So the final score here in Sheffield, the Cardiff Devils 6, the Sheffield Steelers 3.
Tonight that's ended a mighty bang for Cardiff. Unbelievable scenes here. It may not have been a great evening for Sheffield as far as the match is concerned, but what about this?
Simon, I didn't know you and I were that good. This is great for them to do this for us tonight. Thank you. I'll tell you, it would have been a lot better for the fans here in Sheffield if Sheffield hadn't got the win. Quite a display here for the people that stayed behind in the loss, but
it's a wonderfully marketed sport.
Oh, I'd love to do it up here, but you know, as a fan, you pay your money, you want to be entertained. And the people here in Sheffield get entertained from the time the people are walking to the building to the time the game is over and after. And that's what it's going to be all about in the years to come.
It's been a sellout here every single game this year, and even tonight when they've been beaten 6-3, it's been virtually a sellout on bonfire night, and you see part of that here as well. Quite amazing scene. We're going to go down to ringside now. If you can hear us, Chris Bowers will be talking to the coach of Cardiff, John Lawless.
Yes, well, I have with me John Lawless, the Cardiff Devils coach, and Jason Wood, the Cardiff man of the match. First, John, it's a great result despite that late goal.
Yeah, it was, because we came here and we wanted to keep it tight, don't let Sheffield score a lot of goals, and we did the job.
Jason, just 3 conceded in a Benson Hedges semi. That's good going.
Yeah, it was a tough game. We had to come out and play tight D, and the boys helped me out a lot tonight.
Did you expect to be that busy, given that you were missing Heavey and Stephen Cooper in defence?
I thought I'd be busy. I thought we'd spend a lot of the game in our end. And as it happened, the boys played well, and we pulled through.
Finally, John, you've got the second leg tomorrow, a 3 lead. Is that likely? Is there a danger of complacency?
Well, no, because they're pretty explosive. They had the majority of possession and control tonight, but we played solid D. We'll just have to do it the same again tomorrow night, bump them around a little bit in our rink.
Great stuff. Thank you very much. Back to you, Simon.
We will, though, have a look at the last 2 goals in the 3rd quarter, and Rocky will talk us through that.
Yeah, okay. We'll go first on the 6th goal here that Duma scored. He intercepts the pass here right at center ice, and he breaks in. As he starts breaking up the middle of the ice, he looks and he sees only one man to beat, that's Kellen. He's not going to beat him, but he's going to cut across to his right and use him as a screen and shoot him right along the ice past Martin Mackay going the other way for a great goal. Right on the ice. Tough goal for Martin to try and intercept there.
I must say, I didn't think the Steelers were going to score. They didn't look like it through the 2nd period, and I didn't think so in the 3rd period, but right at the end, Plummer got a 3rd for them.
Well, you know, it could be a very big goal for him. I mean, now the situation is for Cardiff. Here it is. Here comes the goal. First off, Leslie intercepts the pass here. He starts breaking the net. Plummer coming in late, right into the low slot area where all night long Cardiff was stopping Sheffield from getting that shot from that area. The only time that they never let him do that was early in the 1st period. Sheffield scored 2 goals right in front of the net. What changed the game around for Cardiff was they took away the front of the net, made him shoot from the outside. So that last goal there, they got him in front again. Big goal for Sheffield again. Now all they have to do is score a goal every period, win by 1 every period, and it's sudden death after that's a tie game, and they have a chance to win.
But Cardiff did it here last year. They're very much a big game team, aren't they? And they've reached the semi-finals of the European Cup. A lot of experience, and they showed it here. They outplayed them.
They outplayed them as far as the discipline style went tonight. They stuck to their game plan. Johnny Lawless and myself spoke before the game. He said they were going to send 1 man in, 4 guys back, control their shooters to the outsides, take advantage of any cough-ups or any opportunities that they might create for themselves and maybe get a goal or 2 on Martin Mackay. And they did that. They played it right down to the last minute. Other than that last goal, interception of the puck, came up with the other net.
Sheffield have to have a good start tomorrow.
Oh, they're going to have to come out really quick tomorrow. I mean, again, though, they cannot come out so quick. Cannot come out so quick that they leave their back end open. Because Cardiff and their fans now are going to cheer them on something fierce. If we were in there last Sunday, we kept it close to a 12-minute mark, and all of a sudden Cardiff, 4 goals in less than 4 minutes on us. We're only down 1 to start the game. Next thing we're down 5, and it's going to be a very, very big task for Sheffield to come back disciplined.
Okay, good. Thanks very much for that. Join us again tomorrow night, 7 o'clock for the return. Can Sheffield come back? We'll find out. For now, goodbye.